Hi everybody, welcome to week 4 of September's Spotlight class. We've completed a whole month, it's very exciting. For those of you that are new here, my name is Stacey Marsh and I am in the UK in the southern county of Kent, and I've been a demonstrator for almost 10 years. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe and you will receive notifications for future demonstrations and tutorials, and everything that you need can be found on my website, which is staceymarsh.co.uk. So September we have been doing a Spotlight stamp series and we have used the textured florals stamp set, which has been really fun. I chose a colour combination that was quite different. We went with some neutrals rather than some bold florals, and it's been really fun. I've loved coming live to you, not live to you, but pre-recorded to you once a week to share a new card, and I've had some lovely messages, which is really, really lovely. So today we are week number 4. It is our final week in this series and I am prepping for October's, which is all about trucking along. So I'm excited to bring that to you. And I'm going to share my final card design with you today that is a little bit different to what we've done before. There'll be more background stamping and I'm going to show a different technique with your background images. So without further ado, let's skip over to my desk and I will show you this week's card. Okay, so this week's card looks like this, and it is backed onto a base of crumb cake card. I'll just bring it up so you can see it in a bit more detail. So it is crumb cake base, and I've added a crumb cake layer with some of that large image stamped in the background. I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending just to make it look a bit more distressed. I've got some of the stamped images, and rather than adding in the dark centres here, I've stamped the centres with crumb cake just to make it a little bit different. And then we've got some of these nice embellishments or die cuts to finish it off. So that card completes our series. So let's walk you through this. I'm sticking with the same colour combination that we've been using for the last 4 weeks, which is Early Espresso, Crumb Cake, Pecan Pie and Pebbled Path. Okay, so 4 very neutral colours, not really what you would use for flowers, but I've really enjoyed doing something a little bit different with these products. So I'm going to start with my card base. I've got a card base cut from Crumb Cake, standard book fold in orientation, and then I have this extra layer of crumb cake that I'm going to do my stamping on. So for the time being, let's put the card base to one side, and we're going to stamp all over this background with crumb cake flowers. Now be mindful that when your ink dries, it will dry lighter. So although this looks really dark at the moment, by the end of our card tutorial, it would have dried a bit lighter. So there we have in the background our flowers, and here, if I put that on there, it looks lovely, it looks really, really nice, but I want to tone it down a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little blending brush, and we called her Brenda then for some reason, and I'm going to use some crumb cake ink. Now these blending brushes are a staple in anyone's craft kit. So I'm going to ink up my brush, and I'm just going to go around the edge, just making that a little bit darker. It does take a minute or two to build up your colour. Okay. I'm just sticking to the edges at the moment. You could use a darker colour if you wanted, but I do actually like this sort of tone on tone effect. And you can see that's starting to darken now. And just keep going until you are happy with the colour that you've got. Like so. It sort of makes it look a little bit antique-y. Which is always a nice little touch. It's one of those techniques that's difficult to master, but once you've got it, it looks lovely. So now that is my piece of the back, and I think that just lifts the whole thing. It's very different to the finished look that we've been creating these past 4 weeks. Make sure my card's opening the right way. It is. Let's lay that down. And then I've got my piece of white for the centre, which I'm going to leave plain and stick that straight in. Oh, I know what I've not done. I've not put my centres in. So my little stamens. So on the other cards we've designed over the past 4 weeks, I have used the darker centre. I've used early espresso for the centre, but I have used crumb cake for this one. Just laying those on. Okay, so there's my card base. Quite happy with that. Pop that to one side, and we're going to do a little bit of regular stamping. So the images that I need to stamp, I'm going to stamp one of those flowers in crumb cake with a crumb cake centre. And then I want a couple of the smaller ones in my little box of bricks I've got here. So this one here, we're going to have one of those, again in crumb cake. One of those, just about there. And then I want this big flower, which is right at the bottom of my box. Here we go. So on the other cards, I've stamped all these flowers. For some reason, that's coming out green, and I'm not sure why. I've stamped the other flowers in all different colours, but in this one, I'm keeping them all the same colour. I don't know why it's coming out green. That's a great start. That's it. Like so. And then to finish off, I want this leaf here, and I'm going to stamp that in pecan pie. And let's die cut all of those out. Here's my dies from last week. So let's just take them off. Okay, and then I want a leaf. which I don't think is in my box. No, it's in the packet. Okay. Okay, so let's run these through my little die machine behind me. Those out, they all pop out nicely. And then in my little pack, I've got a strip of white, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment, "Every thought of you makes me smile," and that's going to be stamped with Early Espresso. And that's just being stamped in the centre of that banner. Like that. Now I've added just a nice little neat border on mine. And I'm going to go around sort of a bit jaggedy. Normally everything is quite straight, but just added a little jaggedy type border there. Okay, and then we can start to build. So I'm going to use the dark dimensional. These are black dimensionals. So let's just put a couple of these on, and I'm going to put them on near the bottom. So that's going in the centre, about there. And then I'm going to layer my flowers and my pieces in and around. So the big flower head is going to go in there like so. And then I have this little guy. That's going to go in there. And then the leaves, so I have these nice pecan pie coloured leaves. I'm going to slot that in just behind. And then I've got these really pretty embellishments. Okay, so let's, if I put that in there, that's going to be quite tall. So what I'm actually going to do, if I can find my scissors, is I'm going to snip that off about there. So then that can sit just behind. And then the vellum one, which is this one here, I'm going to snip a bit of that off and then slot that one in. Because what that gives me is that gives me some smaller pieces to use at the bottom. So now let's put this on. Oh no, sorry, that's not going on yet. This one is going in there. So just trim it down a little bit more. That one in there. And then my little vellum piece. That one. Is also going in there. And then my flower is going to go in just over the top. Like that. And there we have our fourth and final card design of this series all finished. So we'll just have a little recap. Card number 1, looked like this. Card number 2 was this one. Card number 3 was this one. And card number 4 is the one that we've just made. So I would love to know in the comments if you have a favourite. So do put that on and let me know. October's Spotlight class is all complete now. So booking is completed and that will start to arrive next week. Because there's 5 Tuesdays in October, it won't start for the first week. It will be the last 4 weeks. And it will be same time, same place, 12 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. So that's all from me. Do let me know if you've got any comments or questions. Everything that I've used in all the videos have been, you can purchase the products for those cards via my website, which is staceymarsh.co.uk. And as always, please make sure you subscribe and then you will receive notifications of future tutorials. So have a great week and I look forward to speaking to you all very soon. Bye for now.